I've just noticed so much now, and even more than ever, this connection deficit that's existing within our leadership population. Leaders that either don't know how or don't know why, the need to connect with their people, to really bring their heart to work, to be compassionate, to be humble, and to be curious about what makes their people tick. And it's just, I don't know whether it's the fact that we're so connected into technology. You know, you were saying before, getting on the train and everyone's on their phones or devices and no one's connecting with each other, and that just, you walk into the workplace and it just extends to that, and it's just creating this connection deficit that is so detrimental to leadership and to organisations and to people. The fear of connection. I had a woman yesterday in a leadership program saying that she found it much easier to connect to people via email, and the ability to go up and have a real conversation and connect human to human with another person was just really difficult for her. And you know, the fact that we are so driven by technology, social media, and all of these other ways to connect, which has got really great positives, but there's a real downside that we think that we're connected to other people and we're actually not. And as human beings, we're hardwired for connection. You know, we're the only race that's born to connect in a human to human way, and we're losing the art of that in organisations today. Well, I think for leaders and the need for leaders to connect, often leaders have been brought up into leadership roles because they're technically great at what they do. And so I see two things at play. One is they're not sure why connecting with their people is beneficial, why do it in a way that, and I'm talking about real connection, real human connection, rather than managing work and driving performance. So the first question is, leaders might ask themselves why bother? Why is it important? What's the benefit? What's in it? And the second that I see, probably more broadly, is how. You know, how do I do this? You know, I've grown up into more senior leadership roles, and now I find myself running quite large teams, and trust might be low. I'm having troubles with engagement. Performance just isn't what it needs to be. But I actually don't know how to crack that next level. You know, I'm able to set a vision, I'm able to drive performance, but inspirational leadership looks like this real connection where leaders can connect with their team, they can bring their heart to work, they can be genuinely curious about what's motivating their people and really know their people, connect their people into the purpose of the organisation, performance of the organisation. So that inspirational leadership is missing, and connection is at the heart of that. Yeah, this connection is personal. We have to get personal. You can't have a human-to-human connection without making it personal. And you're right, perhaps that's part of the fear factor. It feels too personal. We have to be able to bring a vulnerability. We have to be able to leave excess ego at the door and be really humble. And that vulnerability and humility is often challenging for leaders. I heard a great definition of humility or being humble last week, which I loved, which was it's about not thinking less of yourself, but thinking about yourself less. And I love that. And if we want any signpost, any role model for leadership at the moment, for connection, just look at Jacinda Ardern and what she is doing in connecting with community, in rebuilding trust in a time of real grief. And she's actually, her leadership has become globally recognised for what she's doing, and more importantly, how she's doing it.